Hello, what up? What's good? Welcome into the OnlyBets Sports Podcast, Friday edition with Stern Bets. Drew Duki, I'm the Prince of Picks. Boy, do we have a show to recap from yesterday. We did a great job on all of our picks. We'll get into that here shortly. But as for today's show, we got the World Cup we're going to be covering. Of course, Major League Baseball. We've got international basketball. We got the FIBA World Cup qualifiers going on across the world. So we'll have a few plays for that. And of course, we'll get into the weekend here, see what we got in terms of any other sports or any other angles or looks that we want to give here towards the end of the show. Stern, let me ask you, brother, how did you do on your picks yesterday? I know we had an excellent day on the brand here for the show. How did you do specifically for your picks?
So I had a 3-leg team total parlay, and each team scored the necessary amount of runs within the first 3 innings, I believe, yesterday. So very good. Should have just bet the over at each of those games instead of the team totals. But we also hit the individual 2 out of the 3 individual team totals as well. So great day. Looking forward to another one. I will say today's baseball slate was extremely hard to go through. This heat dome is really messing with my algorithm because on one hand, a lot of my analytics are shoving me in one direction, but on the other hand, my practical experience and understanding how this heat and humidity affects these pitchers goes the other way. So I'm calibrating and I'm looking, but I'm very interested in seeing how tonight goes. I think there could be a lot of fun. And a little bit of a preview. I'm really hoping the Yankees freaking bounce back. Enough of this loss. Enough of this losing streak. Sorry.
Yeah, right. It's unusual. Highly unusual for them to be losing at the rate that they are.
So
And getting back,
I
yeah,
will
go ahead.
say, sorry, every single summer in June, July, we tend to see the Yankees slump. And there is hope because there's a number of players on the IL. You have Stanton, you have Judge, you have Heel, you have so many stars on the IL, including 4 really, I wouldn't say necessarily all-star caliber, but pretty darn close to all-star caliber coming off soon. So I think that this Yankees team will be changing very soon. And I think that their bullpen will get the necessary rest to actually complete games. Sorry, a little bit of a personal peeve right there.
Yeah, yeah, they have too much talent, right? At some point, once those guys come back, you expect them to definitely bounce back here. It's just it's the Yankees. You always think of the Yankees as a solid team, no matter what. Even with injuries considered, you always think they're going to be a good, team that's going to be able to withstand that. But hey, they're human, just like the rest of us. So the injuries can derail them as well. But we'll see how they do once they get everyone back healthier. As for me, to recap my picks, yeah, another great day for us here. We had Iceland, Italy, and FIBA over 163.5. That cleared sweat free. I think it ended up hitting around maybe 180 ish, if I'm not mistaken. We also in the World Cup with Switzerland team total over 1.5 goals at plus money. That cashed as well. We missed on our WNBA play. We had the Mercury +2, which they ended up winning outright. But we had the game total over 161.5. It ended at 157, so we were just a few points shy of that one from a 3-0 sweep for me. But still, winning day here for myself and a winning day for the brand as well. So we will absolutely take it. Here it comes, Drew. Perfect. I was just going to say, we'll see if when Drew's going to come in, but he's here. Drew, good morning, dude. Can you hear us? And how'd you do on your picks yesterday?
Yeah, I can hear you guys. I went 2-0. Portugal on a 3-way money line hit, and Michael Lorenzen under 15.5 outs hit. He had like 4 hits on 4 runs with 6 walks. So even though the Marlins lost 14-4, at least that bet ended up hitting. That was crazy.
Yeah. Any
Yeah,
thoughts on
well
that, sir?
done. You have a full minute to gloat, Drew.
You're starting the clock now. Go ahead. Yeah, we're just joking with you,
Both of
Drew.
us were.
Yeah.
Wait,
Well
gloat
done
about
on
what? Oh, wait,
another.
I'm confused.
About your winning record. About you going 2-0 yesterday.
Well, also
Oh,
just
my bad.
specifically because both of us were fading Portugal, and to be fair, most of that game looked like Portugal should not have won that, but they were able to pull it out in the end. And both of us on the show were like, "I don't know, we're on the other side of that," and you were like, "No, this is my pick," and we were, not in lockstep, but you won out, so gloat.
Actually, I don't want to say let's go Portugal because go USA, but You know what? Good stuff, Portugal. I appreciate you cashing me out. And yeah, no, I'm not gonna. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna say yeah, Prince and Stern suck it. But I'm not gonna say that because you guys have taught me a lot about soccer since I've joined this
Sorry,
podcast.
you're not going to say that?
That was the whole point. That's why we gave you the minute.
You-
I'm just kidding.
wait. Who's that WWE wrestler that says like suck it? I forgot his name. I don't know if you guys watch WWE.
You talking about back in the day, like in the
Yeah,
'90s? Like, yeah,
yeah,
was it like what D-Generation X?
yeah. It was
Triple
Generation
H,
X.
right? Not Triple H. I don't think was it
Yeah, it
Triple
was Triple
H.
H and Shawn
Yeah, Triple H.
Michaels.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they did the cross thing on the hips. I there was a
Yeah.
pitch that I did it the other day, and he got in trouble for it.
Oh man, such good days in WWE, WWF back then. Oh, love it.
Also, just before we forget, well done, Brian Liberati. 1-0 and one pushed, 1-1, no losses on yesterday's golf matchup. So well done there. And if you were following on our Twitter account, we posted out Sun JM over Tony Finau. Went off 8-13 this morning. So hopefully you were able to get that in. Tracking that as well. Have not checked in the last like half an hour, but hopefully that's going well. I assume it's going well, and I'm excited to see how the weekend shakes out in the world of golf. But before we get to any of the other sports, let's get to baseball. Drew, where are we going first?
Yeah, so I think it's a relatively it's like medium high kind of slate, where it's not like all the teams playing in that regards. But one I was looking at that I usually don't like, betting on, of course, my own team. But I can give some advice on this game. We have Logan Webb as Ryan Feltner. Logan Webb was like probably the best pitcher in the month of June. And month of June, he had a .71 ERA, .61 WHIP, all his 5 starts in June. He's 7 innings or more. I think he only gave up 3 total runs in June or something like that. And he's facing Ryan Feltner, who has been pretty good. I wouldn't mind, for my advice to some people, is like some kind of Giants total team runs over. They historically own Colorado. So I want to know your take on the Giants game, Stern, before I go to my outs bet.
Yeah, let me pull that up here. Yeah, I actually like the Giants quite a bit here. I took them on the run line on my premium plays. Don't normally give that out on the show, but you heard it here. So I'm very much on them. Their offense has been stagnant, but if there's anything to cure stagnant offenses, it's definitely Coors Field. I don't think Ryan Feltner will last that long into the game. I expect negative regression. He has been pitching really well lately and better at home, but this bullpen is ranked 28th in the league over the last few weeks. And they've been doing quite well over this last week, so I expect negative regression there as well. I'm very much on board backing San Francisco.
Love to hear it. The game that I'm going to go to is the Red Sox at the Angels. If you look at this game right here, usually it's pretty good. It's usually good batting weather here all the time because it's usually hot. Usually the ball travels pretty well, but I'm going with Reed Detmers over 17 half outs. I faded him a couple months ago, but he's just been excellent lately. Over 17 half outs and -130, I feel like is really good value for him. I think he's covered this 4 of his last 5 starts, and he's facing a Red Sox offense who really has been pretty stagnant. And also, of course, they're missing. I don't know if Wilson Contreras. I didn't check if he appealed his appealed a suspension. Let me double check that real quick. Uh, oh yeah, he did appeal suspension, so I believe he's still playing in that regards. But he's probably going to not win that appeal when he's suspended for 7 games. He literally threw a helmet at a guy and was on videotape, so he probably won't win that. But regardless, even with him, their offense has been absolutely atrocious, and I like how Reed Detmers has been pitching. He's turned into the pitcher that the Angels expected him to turn into, kind of like a walking 6 innings. He didn't cover it his last start at 5.2 innings, but we've noticed with Kurt Suzuki, the manager, he likes his starting pitchers to go deep, and usually only likes his bullpen to pitch 3 innings. He expects his starting pitchers to always at least go 6. So yeah.
I don't mind that. I have a lean on the Angels overall in this game here. I'm a little concerned with Detmers at home, where he has pitched a little bit worse. But when you're looking at his underlying metrics, everything kind of lines up. I really like what he's doing, and I expect positive regression on his case. Giving up multiple runs in the last two games. To be fair, that was against Oakland, not Oakland, sorry, Sacramento Athletics, whatever. But I do like Detmers. He's been pitching really well. The underlying metrics are pretty solid across the board. So I'm on board with this one. And yeah, you're right. The Red Sox did flash a little bit against the Yankees. That hurt. That really hurt. But before and since, nothing. So yeah, I'm very much on board.
Yeah, and something I will say about also the Athletics, and also there'll always be Oakland in my heart, just growing up in the Bay. But Athletics are a great example of just like wiping out teams because their offense has been absolutely insane. Like Kyle Harrison has pitched amazing this year. He still has a sub 3 or ERA, but his one bad start this year was against the Athletics. We had 2.1 innings pitched and 8 runs. All the other ones, I think he's given up like 2 runs or less. So it's crazy how much the Athletics have been hitting.
Yes, it has. And you know what? This really kind of continues a trend of these young teams really kind of getting it together. And I've been enjoying watching them, even if they're a little bit inexperienced, they do tend to get it together when it matters. As long as they're not facing, I guess, elite pitchers is kind of how I would caveat that. And I do not think Jake Bennett is an elite pitcher. Just not it. All right, let's get to my pick of the day here. I'm going to take, now, this isn't my favorite play, and I'm going to give you a live look to potentially get some money live. But I'm going to take the Dodgers first 5 money line parlayed with the Yankees team total over 3.5. Minus 119 on Caesars. Again, not my favorite line, but I'm just going to take what I'm given here. Dodgers are in dominant form. We just saw them yesterday. Ohtani is on the mound, and I see absolutely no reason not to back them. I do prefer, if you can find a decent line, to take the first 5 or first 7 money line with the Dodgers team total over 2.5 or 3.5 for minus 130 or better. But that price is long gone. I looked at it last night. Opponents against Ohtani are batting just 145 and 155 the first 2 times around the order. Underlying metrics are fantastic. 51.8% ground ball should keep the Padres, who are hot, in check. Now, the Dodgers are facing Michael King, who has the potential to turn it on at any time. This is one of my favorite pitchers to back in the past, but the past isn't now. Underlying metrics are not consistent enough. He has a 9% barrel rate, almost a 10% walk rate, and he has given up 3+ runs in 6 of his last 7 games. King pitches a little worse on the road, 3.98 ERA, road ERA, and the bullpen is struggling a bit, ranking 20th in the last couple weeks. I think that the Dodgers can score at least 3 or 4 here. Hopefully they get it done in the first 5 innings while Tony can hold them down. First leg, Dodgers first 5 money line. Full disclosure, I do like the Padres plus 1.5 at near even money as well. I think it's an overreaction on the odds. That's part of why I'm keeping it in the first 5. I do not want to trust the Dodgers bullpen. Second leg here, Yankees. Please break out of your gosh darn slump here. You're facing the Twins and Mike Paredes, whose quality just isn't there. Underlying metrics are scary. You're going to talk about a pitch to contact person in 98-degree weather with 10 miles per hour blowing out? For the love of God, Yankees, if you can't hit now, you're dead to me for the next 2 weeks. He has the only good underlying metric on his stat line here is a 7% barrel rate. But when you combine that with a 51.8% hard hit rate and an under 12% strikeout rate, that's just a recipe for disaster. The Yankees are really most vulnerable against the strikeout, and if you're not going to bring that to the table in a pure pitch to contact situation in great weather, I think that he's just going to be in trouble. So I did want to take the Dodgers and Yankees first 5 money lines. I don't trust the Yankees right now. Just please hit 4 runs and we can cash this out. Drew, any thoughts here? Am I stupid or crazy for going back on the Yankees here?
Stern, I just want, I just want to put like my hand on your shoulder and be like, hey, I understand where you're coming from because I have a team that hasn't hit all year. But I mean, sometimes they do. It's okay, man. Sometimes I'll score 8 runs, sometimes I'll really score 0, and it doesn't make sense to me. It's okay, man. I like the Yankees. The Yankees are, in my opinion, are going to win today. I mean, their Twins have somebody pitching. I mean, Mike Paredes. I mean, that sounds like a position player. But I mean, no offense. He's probably a good pitcher. I don't want to hate on the man, but it's also, I think you mentioned like it's 99 degrees there. It's like close to Arizona weather, which is kind of crazy to say. So the
Wait, it's
ball's
worse than
drops.
Arizona. Arizona is a dry heat. Here in the Northeast, it is humid, and the heat dome keeps driving the ball further and further. If you've been watching these games in the last 3 days, the elite pitchers, and we've had some elite pitchers. I tried to attack the first 3 unders for this. It's not working out.
Oh no, yeah, I get what you mean. Well, what I was saying is like, well, because of course, when ball traveling wise, but when it comes to Arizona, the UV rays are like so bad here that you cause skin damage. But I will say though, of course, for that, like with the humidity, like if you guys can't hit home runs now, I don't know when you guys are going to hit a home runs or hit the ball anytime, especially against the Twins, and you have who you guys consider. I know Cam Schlittler is the man now, but you guys consider is your main vet ace like Garrett Cole. You know, I think it's just as much pressure on Garrett Cole, unfortunately, as the offense. If the offense gets going early, they're gonna expect Garrett Cole to shut down the Twins, only giving it 1 to 2 runs in like 6 innings, and that's what they need. They need the starting pitchers to continue to dominate, and they need someone other than Cam Schlittler to like step up. So.
Yeah, so one thing I do like is Cole does pitch better at home. The only problem is he's given up multiple runs in each of his last 5 outings, which really concerns me. But I kind of do expect positive regression. There is some shaky underlying. That's why I didn't take the Yankees on the line itself. I just took their team total. But again, like I do lean Cole to come back down and kind of pitch well. So that's my take on it. Prince, any thoughts in the MLB today?
No thoughts for me.
All right. Let's head into the WNBA. What do you got for us, Prince?
So actually, I got nothing for you guys today. Excuse my voice. 1 second, Mosh.
No problem. I have been dealing
Sorry, I
with
had to clear
something
my throat.
myself.
I'm good. Yeah, sorry.
Yep.
I've been dealing
Go
with
for
this
it.
throat thing for the last few days. Um, yeah, so nothing for me guys in the W for this weekend. We're gonna take the weekend off in the W because I'm actually gonna be pretty locked in to international basketball. So I do have some plays, a play for you guys in FIBA International Basketball World Cup qualifying. We have a game tonight in the Americas division, which is basically your Central American, South American, and North American teams competing against each other. What I'm looking at here is a game between Bahamas taking on Jamaica tonight. As I pull up my play here, I'm on the over in this one. I'm on over 180.5 at minus 110 for the game total. These are two teams that are pretty elite offensively, actually. Bahamas has a lot of star players playing in this one tonight. NBA players, of course. They got Eric Gordon, VJ Edgecombe is going to be playing, Buddy Hield, a couple other guys as well from the NBA should be suiting up tonight for Bahamas. Looking at Jamaica, they have a lot of scores as well, but the problem is neither of these teams play defense, so overs are usually a thing with both of them. Their last matchup, I think the total hit around 200. It was like 197, something like that. So I expect another high scoring game in this one again. So give me Jamaica, Bahamas over 180.5 at minus 110.
Yeah, no thoughts, just blind betting. I don't understand FIBA yet, but I will get there, and I will start to have maybe some projections sooner or later. But for now, I'm just blind betting what you got, brother.
Awesome, and then yeah, that's all I got for FIBA. The rest are going to be on the VIP channel. So, but yep, for the show, that's all I got.
All right, let's walk into the World Cup. Yesterday, we had one of the best games of the tournament, in my opinion. That was unbelievable. Any chance you want to break down last night's game just a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. So, of course, we're talking about the Portugal Croatia match. I'm assuming is the one you're talking about, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought. Yeah. Yeah. Because there's not much to say about the other one, the Algeria and Switzerland. I mean, that was pretty comprehensively controlled by Switzerland. Same thing with the first game, which was. Oh, there's so many games. I forgot which one the first one was. But in any case, yeah, going back to Portugal, Croatia. Look, I had my concerns about Croatia in this one. In terms of not well, I wouldn't say concerns, but just they're a gritty team, and I think they showed that. They're an intelligent team. They're that team that's hard to beat, and that's what they actually ended up being yesterday. So wasn't surprised that they got the goal. Of course, officially, I had both teams to score over on the VIP channel for that, so that one did cash. Ronaldo, look, outside of his penalty kick goal, I mean, he really offered nothing, which is what he's been offering is nothing. So it's interesting to see where they go going forward with him in the next round. But what an end to that game. It was offsides, in my opinion. If you look at the play, the player was in an offsides position when that pass was initiated, which that's what matters. That's what determines whether you're offsides or not, is when that pass is initiated, that first entry pass is the player in an offsides position. Based on what I saw, he was, so I think it's the right call. But what an end to the game, though. I mean, what a heartbreaking way for Croatia to go out, thinking that they got the tying goal at the end, and then only to see it get called off by VAR. Which, by the way, I can relate to that. That's what happened to us against Belgium and against Egypt. So yeah, fully get it. My sympathy goes with the Croatians, but at the end of the day, it was the right call. Croatians did what they could. They were undermanned in this game. I think Portugal was the better side, but they definitely frustrated Portugal. So I like what I saw from Croatia. Probably their last dance. They're going to be in a full transition mode after this tournament here. So we'll see where Croatia goes going forward. And looking at Portugal now, they're going to be taking on Spain, I believe, right? Yeah, the next round. What a matchup that's going to be. No real thoughts on that. Definitely got to do some more deep diving into that. But yeah, I think that's a juicy matchup here coming up for sure. And one that U.S. fans should have their eye on. I don't want to look too far ahead, but if the United States are to beat Belgium, if we are to beat Belgium, our next match would be against the winner of Portugal and Spain.
That's going to be a fun one no matter what. I mean, I see both teams scoring over 2.5 in almost every single one of these games coming up that you just mentioned. I think we're in for a treat. I really do. Even though I do expect lower scoring games overall, and we talked about that. I mean, the offensive prowess of both of these, of all four teams that you just mentioned, are just too good to be held down for too long. All right. What do you got for tomorrow?
Yeah, for tomorrow. Yep, sure. So, yeah, I agree with you in terms of the scoring. I think one of the caveats that I worry about is the weather. We are getting into the nitty gritty of the summer, right? The heat dome, as you call it. And that's, I think, going to have more of an impact now than it has in this tournament so far. Reason I say that is because the first game I'm looking at tomorrow is the 4 p.m. Eastern kickoff between France and Paraguay. Now, if everything was controlled here and the climate was controlled, I would love France in a rout here. I would say France team total over 2.5, France -2. Anything along those lines, I think France would absolutely run Paraguay out of the field. However, I just checked the weather conditions here in Philly, over there by you, Mosh. Looks like kickoff temperature with the heat index is a sweltering 110 degrees. That absolutely is going to make an impact on this game. It affects everything in terms of how I want to approach this game. So I'm non-committal on it yet. I do think France should get it done right. They are the far superior team than Paraguay. But I don't know how I want to attack this. I don't know if I see a lot of goals still. I don't know if I see a low scoring game. Typically, when you get hot temperatures, you do see lower scoring games because players just want to conserve their energy. They just can't give the 100% that they typically would. They are human after all. No matter how much professional training they do, they're human. And so that 110 degrees, and it's not going to get any cooler. Like it's gonna be pretty much 110 throughout the entirety of the game. So they're kicking off right at 3 p.m., which is usually the hottest time of the day. So yeah, I worry about how it's gonna look here. Oh, I'm sorry, it's gonna be 5 p.m. It looks like, but still, it's gonna be hot temperatures, maybe like 108. Sorry, 2 degrees less. But yeah, I worry about that. So I'm gonna stay away from that. I'm just curious before I get into my official plays. What does your model say on that? Do you have any thoughts on that game for Paraguay and France?
Okay, so first, do you remember in Family Guy they had the weatherman Ollie, and they would just cut to him and be like, "What's the weather
Yes.
like over there?" And he's like, "It's hot as hell."
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, not this is just brutal weather over here. Everybody here is closing their shades, putting little pillows in the cracks of the door. This is just a brutal weather here. What I see here for France versus Paraguay, I have a 2-1 projected score in favor of France. I have 2.52 goals projected for France and 1.38 goals projected for Paraguay. 72% on the both teams to score. The 75% also on the over 2.5 goals. So I tend to see, I guess the model is saying that we like a lot of goals, open style play, people to get probably tired, people to come in at the end and just kind of score. So I think that kind of aligns with what you were thinking.
It does sort of. One question for you: does your model factor in weather at all? Temperature?
Yes, 100%. Now, I don't know how well because it's
Yeah,
pretty
because this
much
is
all on me.
unusual. Yeah, this is unusual
Um,
soccer weather. I mean, I just looked at the kickoff. I looked at it was 105. So my mistake. I thought it was 110. 105. So 5 degrees less at kickoff. And throughout the duration of the game, the coldest is 95 degrees. So you're talking about highly unusual soccer weather here.
So I have a grading scale where the temperature and humidity definitely does factor into my final score line here and plays, but it is not accounting for that extreme. I haven't gone that far out yet. I think I'm accounting for 90 plus degrees only at this point. So yeah, I'm not
Gotcha.
not super confident, but I
Yeah.
do see an open style of play for both teams.
Cool. Sounds good. Cool. All right. Okay. So yeah. So let's get to the official play then. We'll get back to that one later. I'll see how I want to attack that. But looking at Canada and Morocco, this one is going to be a 1 p.m. Eastern kickoff. This one is in a controlled environment. I believe in Dallas, Houston. Playing in Houston here. So Canada still without home field advantage because they blew it without winning their group. Now they got to play in the U.S. But it's all right. It is what it is. Look, I like Morocco in this one. I think Morocco is a better side. I have not been impressed with Canada at this tournament. They've gotten enough they've done enough to get by, but I think going against the Moroccan side, that is pretty much better than Canada right now. Although I haven't been overly impressed with Morocco either. But I think when push comes to shove, Morocco is the better team and should get it done. I'm afraid to take them on the money line because I could see this going to extra time, just the way that both of these teams kind of play, specifically on the defensive side. So rather than take them on the money line, I'm just going to take them to advance. And I'm going to parlay that with under 3.5 goals. I think we see a lower scoring game in this one. That's going to come in at minus 150. So we're looking at Morocco to advance by any means necessary, plus under 3.5 goals at minus 150. That's my official play for this one. And then, Moshe, I'm going to go ahead and get into the other two games, and then I'll get your thoughts on everything here as a recap. Looking at Sunday here, we have two games. Of course, on Sunday, we got two games every day here in the round of 16. First one that we're looking at is going to be Brazil taking on Norway. I cannot wait for this game. This is going to be such an exciting, fun game to watch. I think we see a lot of goals in this one. You got two defenses who are pretty suspect, two offenses who are pretty elite. Can't see anything less than goals in this one. So I like both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. It comes in at plus 100. We are looking at the temperature here. It's in New Jersey. Looks like 85 degrees, kickoff temperature, not too bad. Maybe a little bit of humidity, but definitely something that shouldn't affect these players too much. So I think we could be in for a lot of goals in this one. Absolutely can't wait for this one. Both teams to score over 2.5 at plus 100. Then the other one, we've been talking about this a lot, right? Mexico and England, the 8 p.m. Eastern kickoff here at the Azteca in Mexico City in the high elevation over there. Looking at the temperature here, 63 degrees, perfect weather. Looks like thunderstorms are in the forecast, but that doesn't really have an effect because if there's lightning, they'll just pause the game anyway. So storms doesn't matter, just might see some rain. They'll be fine with that. Looking at this, though, as a head-to-head matchup between these two, I think we see goals in this one. I get it that Mexico hasn't allowed a goal. However, they have not played an offensive team like England, with the offensive talent, I should say, that England has. Of course, South Africa, all over the place. South Korea, not very consistent. Czechia finished bottom of the group. And then they played Ecuador, who might be the worst offensive team in the entire tournament. So they haven't played anybody yet with the offensive talent of England. And so I think that defensive record that they have is a little bit skewed. I do think England can get on the board here. I'm afraid to back Mexico on the board as well. I don't know. I don't know who scores. I don't want to take both teams to score because I don't know. Maybe Mexico gets 2 goals. Maybe England gets 2 goals. Maybe we see 1-1. Maybe we see 2-1. I'm not sure how the goals come and who scores the goals, but I do think that we're likely to see at least a couple goals here. If we just see two, we push. If we get three, then we hit the bet. So rather than rely on both teams to score, I'd rather just take an over two, play it a little bit safe here. You're going to get that at minus 125. I'm okay with the push if we only get 2 goals, but I do think we get more than one in this one. So that's the way I'm going to attack this one. Mexico, England, over 2 goals at minus 125. Most, your thoughts on all that? If you want to
Yeah.
hit the mute
So
button, yeah, go ahead.
yeah. Well, I'm only working on my personal laptop right now, so I got to flip over a bunch of tabs as I'm trying to put up a recap screen as we work here. The only one here that I'm a little bit nervous about is Morocco. I'm on the other side. I think Canada will come back into form. I think people are fading them unfairly, and like you said, I'm not so confident in Morocco. So if you're going to give me a toss up, I expect a lower scoring game, and I kind of like Canada to win it. I played Canada on the money line and both teams not to score as my hedge. Brazil, Norway, absolutely no problem. I love the over there. I think both teams are more than proficient to be able to handle themselves. And we talked about Mexico, England yesterday. I have a lean on England. I have a projected score of 1-2. I think both teams score fairly easily. I like the over 2.5 goals. I have a projected goal score of really 4, most likely. So I'm very much on that side of things. So yeah, agree with some, don't agree with some, playing everything and hoping everything comes out well. But couldn't be more excited for Mexico, England. I think that's going to be such a hyped game that everyone's going to be on.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's going to have so many eyeballs on it. It's going to be just as big as the U.S. game here. Of course, people are going to be talking about it just as much, if not more. So, yeah, I think we're in for a treat here. I can't wait for these games.
Yeah. All right. Let's hear Drew's World Cup play of the day. Where are you going, sir?
Yeah, I have one for today and tomorrow. I'll say the one tomorrow because I know you guys kind of like mentioned it. I do like Brazil, Norway over like 2.5 goals. I know things get tighter in the group stage, but I was expecting this to open at kind of like 3.5. If you look at the Brazil games, I think majority of their games have at least had 3 goals. In Norway, I think it's like 4 or something like that combined. So I think that game's going to be really. It's not going to be like really high scoring, but high scoring for what we expect. The knockout stage, both these guys are both these teams are like pure offense. And Holland has shown up like we expected it. Some people may say he's exceeded expectations in his first World Cup. So for that one, but my one for today, I like Egypt on the three-way money line against Australia at plus 135. I think it's better value to advance at minus 160. I believe they said that Salah is going to be fine to come to Australia after his hamstring strain. I know the dude's a tough cookie. I think there was talks about him coming off the bench, but I expect him to play until his he's definitely going to play in the World Cup. I don't think he's going to miss this knockout stage game. And I think what will take him off the field is if he gets another injury, he's going to play his heart out. And I just trust this Egypt offense more. Australia's offense ever since like the Turkey first group stage game has been terrible. I know they probably play tougher competition than Egypt has played, but I just trust overall Egypt's attack better, and just I think they have the advantages in like certain places that Australia does not. So I like Egypt in the three-way money line.
Prince, any thoughts?
Yeah. So for me, I kind of am in line with you in terms of offensively. I think this is going to be a little bit more of an offensive game than people think. I actually picked both teams to score in this one, for these two teams. So I think I don't think it's going to be quite as cagey as a lot of people might think it will be. Full disclosure, I did pick Australia to advance. Not sure how. Maybe probably in a penalty shootout is my assumption. Maybe an extra time. I don't think they get it done in regulation, but honestly, I mean, it could go either way, really. This was probably one of my most 50-50 picks that I gave. I think both teams are pretty even in almost every aspect. So you could say that top end talent of Marmouche and Mo Salah might take over, but I also think Australia has some guys that people don't really know a lot about and could end up having big games in Traore and Aaron Kunda. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I think there's tremendous value on Egypt to get it done.
So, so sorry, Drew. I'm on the other side as well. I'm on Australia. I see this as basically a toss up, and I'm going to take the value at near plus 300 on Australia's money line in regulation. I really just see it as a toss up. I don't see one team having an advantage over the other. I like the physicality of Australia. And I think that the speed on their wings may be the difference maker here. But to your point, we haven't really seen that lately. The teams that they have gone up against defensively has been able to control them for the most part. So this is going to be very interesting. If we start to see a wider open game, not as cagey like Prince kind of expects, I think Australia might have the little bit of leverage here, and it's not based on it's not based on a actual standpoint. It's based on an odd standpoint. That's really what it comes down for me.
I agree. I totally agree with you, Moshe. I think that's the way that I'm approaching it too. It's based on an odd standpoint. I like the getting the bigger money with Australia. And what I expect is a 50-50 match too. I'm with you on that, Moshe.
I
Oh
will
yeah,
say,
definitely.
if we lose and you win and Egypt wins, I will be over the moon that you took both Prince and I on and won 2 days in a row. I think that would be
Yeah.
phenomenal. 'Cause
Oh,
The
full
college
disclosure,
basketball
if you
guy's
were listening
coming
at the
for
beginning
us.
of the show,
oh,
we were against his pick yesterday, and Portugal definitely won. So you know what? The proof's in the pudding. Right now, I think you have like a 7-1 record in World Cup plays. I might be trying to jinx you, but
well, can I tell you something I also factored in though for this game is that it's in I believe it's in AT&T Stadium, so it's closed, and that could help. I think as I'm focused on Solid's hamstring, the fact that there's going to be a closed stadium and controlled weather. If this was like outside and 100 plus degrees, I'd be worried about Solid's hamstring and everyone else's. But I just think overall, when it's a closed stadium, we're gonna see a lot of able running, not less tired bodies and stuff like that. So I think people probably love to play in 18 stadium with the weather that's going around across the U.S. So I think that's pretty fun to see.
it's definitely going to be a fun one. What time does that go off? Is it
Uh,
like 2 p.m. today, if I'm
yeah,
mistaken?
2 p.m.
Oh yeah, so definitely some nice sports to kind of watch during the day, which is always my favorite. Um, yeah, and then at 4 o'clock you get to watch St. Louis face the Cubs in the MLB. So a lot of we get started with soccer and we get in with baseball, and then we kind of keep rolling throughout the day.
You know what? If Egypt
Fact of
wins,
the day,
I'll
Drew. Got
I'll say if Egypt wins, I promise, because I know you want to hear from me. I will gloat.
You deserve it. You honestly deserve it. 2 picks in a row where both Prince and I don't necessarily agree 100%, and you got it on. This is basically better than a showdown. This is a showdown.
But yeah, you're absolutely right.
All right. Fact of the day.
Yes, I have a fact today. The thing is,
Oh, sorry. Go on.
I'll say this first. Like, I am a humble guy, so I don't usually like gloating that much. But you know what? I'll do it for the sake of of course, the show if Egypt does win. But for the fact of the day is, so I was looking up who had like what game had the most yellow cards in World Cup history. It actually happened in the last World Cup. Argentina versus Netherlands had the most yellow cards in World Cup history with 18. Argentina had 10, and the Netherlands had 8. I think that was absolutely crazy to think
I
about.
remember that game. Oh my god, that was a hard watch. It was just constant
Yeah,
foul after foul after foul. Oh
I remember
yeah,
too.
one
I
of the
didn't know
hardest
how
games to
many
watch.
yellow cards there were, and that's crazy that there was 18.
Um, I actually have another fact of the day for you, and this was because I was watching the game yesterday in Portugal, and they mentioned it on air. Ronaldo, through the previous 8 knockout round games that he has played in his career, has yet to score a goal in the knockout rounds, except for last night where he scored the first one on a penalty kick. To be fair, he did score another one, but it was called offsides, which I thought was a little bit BS, but neither here or there. I just thought it was interesting that one of the premier players of maybe all time, right, Prince, all time,
All
never
time.
scored
That's right. You got
until
it.
last night in the knockout round. And I thought that was really fascinating.
Yeah, that is. You would think someone of his caliber, right? Greatest of all time. You didn't stutter. You said it the right way. You know, that he wasn't able to score in the
Hold on,
knockout
hold on,
stage.
hold on, hold on. I said one of. I
No,
am
no,
not
no,
putting him
no.
out there as the greatest.
That's not what I heard. But all right, we'll replay the tape.
I mean, hey, Ronaldo
You
is a
say I
weird
hear what
way
I
to
want to
pronounce
hear.
Messi.
CR7, baby.
Uh,
Ain't no stuttering around here.
well,
But
well
yeah,
done,
no,
Drew. Well done.
that's
That
pretty
is a
cool.
cool nickname.
Yeah, what does Messi
That's a
have? What?
fantastic meme.
Messi even have it? Does Messi even have a nickname?
Yeah, his
No.
nickname
There you
is
go.
Messi.
Boom. Yeah. All right.
No, but it was cool
Wow.
for a penalty
Like
kick.
Madonna.
Yeah. Oh, I will say though is like I know some people were like, oh, it was on a penalty kick. Hey, I've seen too many missed penalty kicks. No penalty kick has been easy this World Cup. So shout out to Ronaldo still.
Facts.
Like I've
Facts.
seen
Facts.
I
Germany
think
guys sail
Ronaldo has.
it.
Yeah, I think Ronaldo had hit. I think it was 7 of 8 penalty kicks in World Cup. I don't know what time frame that was, but they did show that metric on the screen at some point last night.
That's
All
crazy.
right. What else we got here? We got a question of the day, Prince or
Yeah.
Drew.
Yeah, I got it. I got our
Uh,
question of the day. I
all
got it
right,
all
Prince.
ready
What
to
do you
go
got?
here. All right. Okay, guys. So this one's just a more simple one. Okay. Would you rather make the game winning assist or the game winning goal? Or score or if you want to put it in like I don't know, to put it in baseball terms, like well, I really can't put it in baseball terms. So yeah, sorry. Or the game winning basket or the game winning like would you rather make the assist or score? Stern,
I
I'll ask
mean,
you
this
first.
isn't a trick question. I would rather make the shot, of course. I mean,
Not
come
me.
on.
Not
Uh,
me. Not me. I'd rather make the
no, you
assist.
would rather
Not
be
me.
the assist guy.
I'd rather be assist man. Yeah, that was kind of my thing. When I played soccer and basketball, I was more of the like basketball was a point guard, soccer I was like a number 10, center midfielder, maybe more of like a cam, center attacking midfielder. So my job was more to like set up guys, which I love. I love there's nothing more I love than like making a dying pass to somebody who can, knock it in the net. I wasn't the greatest goal scorer myself, but I could set people up pretty well. Or like make a sweet pass like in between defenders, like in basketball, like getting it down to to a low post or something, and having him score the bucket. Like I get a lot of joy out of that. I love setting people up to score goals or to get buckets and stuff. So I would love to be the guy. I don't necessarily want all the attention all the time. Like I feel like being the goal scorer, you get all the attention. For me, I'm like more of a low key kind of person. So I don't know if I feel comfortable getting all that attention all the time. So I just rather, kind of be the guy in the background and make that sweet pass and be like, man, you guys remember that pass I made, for that game winner? Like stuff like that. Drew, what about you?
Yeah, I would say so. It's funny. My soccer, when I played soccer, I was like a forward slash midi, and then also a goalie. Weird combo. Where I would like. So I started off as like forward slash midfielder, and then I eventually became a goalie. And in that regards, but I was always one of those guys where they wanted me to like be on the wing. If I was a midi, they wanted me to try to score because I was a left footer, and they saw me as like valuable as being left footed. And every team we played, even if we played them again, they would always forget I was left footed because I would purposely dribble the ball with my right foot because I was able to dribble the ball with my right foot. I can't kick with my right foot well. And then I would just switch to my left and I'd be able to cross it or shoot the goal from the left side and they just would be confused. So I'd rather score the goal because that's what I was asked to do when I was playing soccer when I did was a forward. And I can pass, but sometimes I'll kick it too hard and I'll sail it and stuff like that. But I was always really good at keeping the ball low on crosses and not like kicking it over the net. So I would say score the game winning goal.
Yeah, I think most people probably agree with you guys, right? Most people probably go for the goal. But for me, just like to cap this off, like watching the World Cup, right? Like I get more geeked out about like the pass that set up the goal rather than the goal itself. We're like, man, yeah, he scored the goal, but did you see that pass? How did he see that? Like, how did like what vision? How was he able to even see that pass was even there to make to begin with? Like, I'll talk about that more than like the goal itself. That's just kind of just the way that I've been wired
Yeah, I love
throughout
that
my
too.
sports life.
No,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll say I get geeked out too with the pass. Like I love watching passes and stuff. It's funny because like me personally, I would prefer to score the goal, but I get more excited when people make great passes, and I'm also like that because since I used to play goalie, and these guys are way beyond me and goalie, of course, and stuff. But I always like when I'm watching it, and then my wife either comes down and I watch the goalie. I'm like, oh, the goalie shouldn't went out there, and that's there. And my wife was like, stop being like, stop being a coach, you know. And then my daughter would be like, wait, how did you know that? And I was like, well, the goalie should have done this, this, and this, and she would get confused. So I always like to judge what the goalie does. Like, oh, you know, the goalie should have passed it here. The goalie shouldn't have charged here. The goalie should have stood here. So I love watching the goalie too.
Yeah, it's always fun critiquing a goalie when he's out of position. Like, oh yeah, if he was just a couple feet more to the left, he might have been able to make that save. But because he was out of position, he had to reach for the ball and he couldn't reach it. Blah 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 blah. Right, it's a whole
Yeah, like
thing.
I'm gonna say this, he's 10 times better than I ever was. I'm not trying to say he's bad,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
they're humans.
right,
Like they're not perfect. Yeah.
right, right, 100%. But yeah, okay, cool.
By the way,
That's all.
Prince,
I like that. Yeah,
per your what our skills are in line for, when I was actually playing sports, and to be fair, not in baseball. Baseball, I was the guy who got the hit to knock in everybody. But in basketball, my job was just to get the rebound on offensive side or something like that on the shot from our team, like last minute, and then to kick it out for like another shot. So in terms of my career, I was probably more suited for the assist than I was for making the actual goal. Like I think I only averaged 3.5, maybe 4.5 points throughout high school. Like I wasn't a major scorer. But if I was given the opportunity, of course I would want to take that last shot, especially if I knew I was going to make it.
you want what you want what you weren't able to do on a regular basis. You want that because you weren't able to do it.
It wasn't even that I wasn't
Kind of
able to
thing.
do it. I was
Yeah,
actually on a very talented team where my job was just not to take the final shot.
sure.
My job was to box out and get the rebound, and that's what I did really, really well. But yeah, of course I would. I have been in the position where I took the last shot, usually on a rebound, and it's like a little flick or whatever. But I also want to talk about Drew's strategy of using his left foot and then being able to pass, or sorry, use his right foot and then be able to pass it to his left for a nice shot. That's exactly what I did on offense. I would dribble with my left hand and then I would spin around the defender and I would lay it up with my right. And that was like my favorite move in basketball when I was in high school because no one was expecting it.
Yeah, Drew, any thoughts on that, or anything else to add for that? For me, I was strictly right-footed. That's one thing I never really got a left foot. I never got a left hand. I can do it at times, but yeah, I'm way predominantly right side for me. But by the way, just one final thought too. Like I did hit a game-winning shot once in basketball as well. I mean, of course, I've hit like the game-winning penalty and stuff. Like there is no like that feeling is amazing when like all your teammates come and rush you and like, yeah, we won, blah blah blah, and everyone's like high-fiving each other and stuff. Like that's a cool feeling as well. Like I love that as well. But I don't know, man. Something about the past just gets me going. I just think like it takes like such high sports IQ, right, to be able to see a pass. Not just soccer, but basketball too. Like there's a lot more variables that go into it, right? Scoring a goal is hard in itself, but making like threading a needle, there's a lot of things going on at once, and you got to really like have a basketball mind or a soccer mind to be able to see that pass and then have the skill to make it. I think it's a little more complicated, just in my opinion, but I could be biased. Drew,
No,
anything else?
I don't think you.
Yeah,
I don't think you're wrong. There's a reason why Steve Nash had 2 MVPs, right?
yeah, there you go. Good point. And there's a reason why Messi, according to some, is considered the greatest player of all time, but not me.
It might be most.
Hashtag
Just gonna
not
drill
me.
that in a little
Hashtag
longer.
not my goat.
I don't really have an opinion. I mean, not real one in terms of who's the greatest of all time. I just know that you're on the other side, so I'll just keep nagging you on it.
Perfect. Let's do it. I
All
love
right,
it.
let's.
Hey, wait, Stern. I'm gonna say this. It's a very messy topic. Okay.
Come on, man.
Well done. Well done.
All right, that's gonna do it. Once we get into the dad jokes, I think we're out. Drew, why don't you recap us with your best bets today?
Yes, of course. But Reed Detmers over 17.5 outs at -130. Egypt three-way money line at +135. And then for tomorrow, Brazil versus Norway over 2.5 goals at -135.
Yeah, definitely looking for some really fun games. I've got the Dodgers first 5 money line parlayed with the Yankees team total over 3.5 at -119. All right, Prince, close us out.
All right, yep, guys. So we're looking at FIBA International Basketball. We got World Cup qualifiers tonight. We're looking at Jamaica taking on Bahamas. I like an over in this one, over 180.5 at -110. Looking at the World Cup for this weekend, we got Morocco taking on Canada on Saturday. I like Morocco to advance and under 3.5 goals at -150. Looking at Sunday's matchups, I like Brazil, Norway, both teams to score and over 2.5 goals at +100. And then Sunday night, the big one, Mexico taking on England. I like over 2 goals in this one. We're going to get that at a whole number, over 2 at -125. That's going to do it for us today, guys. This has been the OnlyBets Sports Podcast, Friday edition, alongside Sternbest, Drew Dulke, the Prince of Picks. Have a great 4th of July weekend. Enjoy all the festivities. Enjoy the time with your family and friends. Let's cash out these tickets. Have a great afternoon. We'll be back again live on Monday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern at OnlyBets Podcast on X Spaces. Join us live. Come in with your thoughts, opinions, anything you got for us. We'd love to take your thoughts on air. But with that being said, have a great weekend. We'll see you guys on Monday. Thanks.